everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my highlighter collection, which I store in this drawer. I've done a couple of these collection videos before, like I've gone through my eyeshadow palettes, my mascaras, my favorite nude lips. I've done quite a few, so I will link all of the ones I've done before. I love going through my collection periodically and going through all the products that I have in each category. Now, obviously, as time moves on, I declutter some stuff expires, I get new stuff. So things are constantly changing and evolving in my collection, but I feel like I have enough to talk about. So I'm going to share with you all of my highlights today in my collection. These are single highlights. This is a really exciting video because I love highlighter. If you want to see all of the highlights I currently have in my collection, don't forget to please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I post, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. I organized all of my makeup recently, but I'm just going to pull some stuff out and just kind of talk to you as I pull them out. So the first two are the Artist Couture Diamond Glow powders. I have the shades Summer Haze and the shade Illuminati. I'm going to swatch all of them for you. These are really, really amazing loose highlighters. A little goes such a long way. I will say they are on the sparkly side, so they are a very intense formula. They're not one of the ones where you just put on and it's like a nice little sheen. These make a statement. Now, this is Summer Haze. It looks a lot deeper in the pan than it actually does when you swatch it. So see on my finger how bright that is? I'm just going to swatch that right here. It definitely has a peachier undertone, but it's still so pretty. Even though they are like sparkly and intense, let me do a little bit more for you. They do blend out really, really nicely. These are not for the faint of heart. Again, they're not a subtle highlight by any means. And of course, loose highlighters are going to be a little bit more tricky to work with. They are a little bit more messy, but these are really, really good formula. And then this one is Illuminati. It's a little bit more of a lighter shade, which I will show you compared to Summer Haze. I don't know if you can see the color difference, but Illuminati is definitely more gold, whereas Summer Haze is definitely more champagne, if you can see right there. But they are really, really, really beautiful. Love them. I think Mac Daddy founded Artist Couture, and you can find them at Sephora, I'm pretty sure. But these are really, really good if you're looking for a loose highlighter. Okay, let's go with another cult classic, the Jouer powder highlighter in the shade Citrine. This was like an OG product back in like 2016, and then I think Jouer changed the formula because it was really, really delicate and breaking on everybody. And this is still really, really nice. Jouer is a brand you can also find at Sephora. I believe this was $24. You can see how pretty this is. This is such a beautiful gold highlighter. It is truly so stunning and reflective. Like, gosh. It is truly beautiful. You can see it kind of looks like Illuminati. And I have traveled with this and I haven't broken it, so I think the formula is a little bit more durable, but this is such a beautiful formula. It goes on really smoothly, very intense, very pigmented, but it just makes your cheeks look so radiant and not chunky. I will say all the highlights in my collection, pretty much all are really, really smooth and beautiful. I don't really have any chunky, difficult to work with highlighters, but as I go through each of them, I'm going to explain to you the color, the formula, what I like about them, you know, all that good stuff. By the way, if you're wondering what's on my eyes, literally Juvia's Place Afrique palette, this shade Cote d'Ivoire. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the shade. It's so freaking beautiful. It's just a creamy matte. It's what I have all over my lids right now. It's so freaking beautiful. The little like glitter silver wings is this BH Cosmetics eye light in the shade BFF, which I've had for a while, but it's so pretty. I love this kind of look, and I love playing around with makeup every once in a while. I think it's so fun. But anywho, moving on to one of my favorite highlighters of all time, and actually this is a pretty special highlight to me because this is a highlight that my friend Kristen and I bought together. We were really, really good friends in college, and we bought these one day when we were like eating sushi like in Little Tokyo in LA. We wandered around that part and we went to this like Japanese like beauty store, and they had J.Cat products, and I was like, oh my gosh, we should get matching highlights. So we both got this shade, and this has been one of my favorites of all time. This is a J.Cat U Glow Girl baked highlighter in the shade Crystal Sand. One of the most intense highlighters in my collection. Like, it is white. It's honestly not very impressive swatched, and I've had this for a while, so it doesn't look as lustrous, but it's so beautiful, and I will forever keep this because look, you can layer this on top of a highlight and watch how beautiful it gets. I absolutely love this. You can now get this highlighter at Ulta. I think they sell J.Cat in a few drugstores, but yes, this is a great one. And it's not my number one anymore, but it's still like a really, really great, beautiful, affordable highlight. Okay, let's move on to the one I'm wearing on my face currently, the one that I had on underneath this. This is the Catrice 3D Glow highlighter in the shade Icy Glaze. This claims it has a two-tone highlighter, which I don't know if you can tell in the pan. It kind of does. Like, it has a warmer white and then like a more silvery white, which look how freaking intense that is. That's insane. I love this highlighter for days where I want to do something a little bit more cool tone, something a little bit more dramatic, which is what I did today. Obviously with my blue cool tone eye, I was like, this is a perfect highlighter. The only problem is that if you are a little bit more tan and you put this highlighter on, it can pull a little bit more gray. Like if I'm looking straight at you, it kind of has like a grayish undertone because I am a little bit more deep in complexion than what this highlight is typically suited for, but it's still a really, really pretty accent if you want to just really go over the tippy tops of your cheekbones with this and another highlighter everywhere else. I think it works out really beautifully, but yeah, it's what I have today and I think it goes so well with this eye look. So whenever I want to do something really dramatic or something more cool tone, this is the highlight that I definitely reach for. Okay, let's kind of go on the opposite spectrum of that highlighter. This is the ColourPop Disney Designer Collection highlighter in the shade Coronation. This is such beautiful packaging. I don't know if they still have this around. This is a highlighter that I will wear when I want something more pinky toned. And I love that highlighter. You would think is so like blah, like, oh my gosh, well, how many shades do I need? But really that's why I love having all these different ones in my collection, because they really do each bring something different to the table. Even though this is pink and this is, sorry, you can't even see the swatch really. It's not super duper pigmented, but compared to like something that's more icy, you can tell a difference, and it does make a slight difference on your cheeks as well. I don't know if I love this, honestly. As I mentioned, you can't even really see the swatch on my arm. It is nice. It's not one that I reach for all that much, but I love the packaging and I wanted something different in my collection, you know, for the sake of diversifying it. So that is why I got this. Okay, let's go to one that made my best of 2020 video, which if you want to see all of my top products from 2020, I will link that down below. This is the I Heart Revolution Shimmering Highlighter Powder in the shade Banana. I love that this is so versatile. You literally get 3 different shades in here. You get a light gold, a deep gold, and like a champagne, all of which are so pretty. You can use these 2 on the lids if you want. And I love that basically this is like a palette in and of itself because you have 3 different shades. But yeah, this is such a beautiful highlight. I actually mix them a lot. Obviously these yellow highlights are a little bit too deep for me to wear on my own, but I love this champagne shade. It is so beautiful. It blends out really, really nicely, and I just love how fun this is. I love the packaging. I love the pink. You can get I Heart Revolution at Ulta, so that's awesome. Okay, let's talk about 2 of my Wet n Wild highlighters that I've had for a really, really long time. This one is a classic OG. This is the Shimmer to Reflect palette in the shade Boozy Brunch, I believe. It's like a really pretty gold. When I want a gold, I think of this highlighter, and I know it looks weird because it has a bunch of different stuff swirled in it, but honestly, this is such a tried and true highlighter. Like, look at that reflect. It's so pretty. It is such a nice champagne gold. It's obviously not yellow gold, like you can see it right here. I'm sorry if the lights are like washing it out. You can see like compared to like a true gold, it definitely leans more pinkish, more neutral, which I love. It's so flattering on the skin. Love it. And then the MegaGlo highlighting powder in the shade Precious Petals, which I feel rocked the makeup world like 4 years ago when they first came out. They have a bunch of different other shades. I also have Golden Flower Crown back in LA, but this is an OG and this is nice. It's not my favorite, but it is a really pretty reflect. I'm gonna swatch it. I have double jointed arms, so I'm just gonna put it right here. You can see compared to Boozy Brunch, it's not as metallic and it is a little bit more champagne than gold. I mean, they're both champagnes, but this is like a goldish champagne. This to me is like a true champagne. That's kind of how I differentiate them in my mind. Okay, let's jump to something on the other end of the spectrum. I'm so sorry. I've just been like talking like meh. Anywho, let's jump to something on the other end of the spectrum. This is the Natasha Denona Glow palette and All Over Glow Face and Body Shimmer Powder in the shade 01 Light. This is a beautiful natural highlighter. I love using this on my body too because it's not something really reflective. She has a super reflective formula. This is not it. I mean, it still is very impressive when you swatch it, but it just blends out so seamlessly and it adds the nicest kind of like subtle sheen to your skin. I'm sorry, I feel like the light's not picking up the swatches as nicely, but you know, obviously it's highlighter, so it's whenever it hits a certain angle. But this is such a beautiful highlight if you want to go all over your body, your arms, your legs, your collarbones. It's never going to look too harsh. It's going to melt into your skin really seamlessly, and that's what I love about this product. For the face, I don't like it for the face as much unless I want something super super duper natural, but for the body, this is beautiful. Okay, let's go to one of my other all-time favorites. This is the H&M Sunlit Gold Illumination Lustre Powder. You can see it kind of looks champagne in the pan, but it also is a highlighter that does pull pretty gold, at least when you compare it to another champagne shade, but it is so nice. It's honestly one of those highlighters that I don't feel is like super duper metallic. I never get a bad experience with this. This is one of my go-tos. If I don't really know what I'm going for, but I want something a little bit more golden, I will reach for this. Probably these are my top two like peachy golden highlights I reach for. They're just really, really beautiful and also very affordable. Okay, next up is another tried and true. This is the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow highlighter powder in the shade Golden Sand. And funny enough, even though it says golden, this is the most champagne, peachy, pinky highlighter ever. Like, it's definitely one of my most champagne highlights. You can see how this one is really, really beautiful and just stands out so nicely. This is more peachy pink than anything else, so don't get fooled by the name. It's not golden. I would not reach for this if I want to do like a warm golden bronzy like monochromatic look. This is not the highlighter I would reach for. It's definitely one of the more peachy pink ones. It's not as pinky as the Coronation highlighter. You can see this one's definitely more pink. This is more champagne, but it's still really, really beautiful and definitely not for the faint of heart. This is a very metallic highlighter. I think the most metallic highlighter in my collection, I have to say, probably is this. This is the Ofra and NikkieTutorials collaboration in the shade Everglow. Look at this. It's insane. I love that you get 3 different things. You can wear it on your eyes. You can mix it all together. But this is the most stunning freaking... Look at that. Look at that. When I actually use this, I will just mix these 2 shades down here. I'll apply a little bit here, a little bit here, and then really go on. If I really want to like emphasize like bam, like at the top, I will go in with this white, but it's so icy. It's crazy. This is definitely a going out highlighter for me. It's not the one that I'll apply day to day because it's just so metallic, but it is so beautiful, like to the club. Well, not that we're really going out many places at night these days, but you know, in the good old days and hopefully in the good future, we will be able to go out to like, you know, club, the bar, fun nighttime activities, you know, when you want to just sparkle under the lights. This is the highlighter. It's so freaking beautiful. I think it was limited edition. I don't know if they still have this because this is a fairly old collaboration with NikkieTutorials. I think it's like 4 years old at this point, but I will never get rid of this just because of how stunning the formula is. Ofra highlighters are so pearlized and pigmented and so smooth and creamy. Like, it just is a dream to apply. Okay, let's go to another OG, Mary Luminizer by the Balm. Still to this day, I will use this highlighter. It is a beautiful champagne golden, and I've had this for so many years, but where can I put this? It is such a beautiful, beautiful champagne. It's truly so beautiful still. It's more of a vanilla champagne than anything. I'm so sorry. This is the most awkward swatching thing ever, but my arm's like, I don't really know how to show it to you except for, let's just keep going up the arm. It's not glittery at all, won't accentuate your texture, but it still gives you such a beautiful, like radiant glow. I love this a lot. And even though it's probably expired, it's, you know, something I'm gonna keep for a while. And it is talc free, so that's cool. Probably my favorite highlight at the moment is the Milk Makeup Flex highlighter in the shade Lit. This is one that I talked about in my best of 2020 video as well. This is probably the second most intense highlighter in my collection besides that NikkieTutorials one. You barely apply any pressure and it's just like silk. It feels like silk going on your skin. It is so freaking beautiful, so nice and intense, and it never accentuates anything. The way it glides on your skin truly is unlike anything else. I love the packaging. I've traveled with this. Lit is their champagne shade. I think they have a couple other ones, like I think Iced, which is like a soft gold. They have a lot of other ones that I would recommend you checking out, but look how I don't know if you can see, I'm sorry, but it's so beautiful. I've worn it in several different videos, so just search my channel and you can see it there. But yes, I love this so much. If I had to pick one highlighter right now to save out of all of them, it would be this one. Okay, let's talk about probably my other favorite highlighter of all time. This is the Essence Pure Nude highlighter in the shade Be My Highlight. This looks like a face powder in the pan. It doesn't really have any glimmer, doesn't really have any shimmer, no reflect really. And you can use this as an all over natural highlighter, but I swear when you apply this on your cheekbones, it can get, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to swatch it like here. I'm sorry, I feel like you can't even see, but when you apply it on the tip of your cheekbones, it really makes you feel reflective. Like, okay, this is so random, but a couple years ago when I worked at the first job I ever had in Vegas, I would eat lunch outside in my car sometimes if it was like raining, just get out of the building, and I didn't want to like sit like inside. I like to get away usually and step away. I remember I would like sit in the back seat or whatever, and I'd be wearing this highlighter, and in the rear view mirror, the car rear view mirror, it would catch the light and look so blinding, like this. And it was this highlight. I was like, what the heck? But because it doesn't have any sparkle, it doesn't have any glitter, it always looks so natural, but it would just beam. It's so beautiful. And for that reason, this is such a versatile product because you can dust it lightly all over the face if you're dry and you want to have a little bit of illumination, or if you're oily and you just want to highlight like your, you know, high points of your face, you can do this too, and it will really take you there. It is stunning. Now, it's obviously, in my opinion, not really like a night out highlighter, but it still makes a difference. It is so freaking... Sorry, I had like something stuck in my throat. It's so beautiful. Okie dokie. Now, I have a cream highlighter here. This is the ColourPop and Kathleen Lights collaboration. This is the On the Cusp Super Shock Cheek Shadow. I love this because I love touching up with this. It's a cream product, so it melts into your skin. It is just really, really beautiful. You never get like a harsh, glittery mark. You can apply it on top of powder, which I do like because it's not going to mess up the product necessarily, but you just tap it into your skin and it just gives you such a nice glow. I will frequently wear this if I'm doing like a no foundation look or like a no makeup look and I just want to apply a little bit of something. On bare skin, powder can kind of look really weird. If you just go in with highlighter, it can kind of look a little bit choppy and a little bit dusty and messy. Whereas if you go in with a cream product like this on top of your bare skin, it just melts in really, really beautifully. So I love this for that purpose specifically, and I just won't get rid of it. It's amazing. So I'm not going to talk about my face palettes because I have a whole video about face palettes, which I will link down below. But I do want to mention an OG product of mine. This is the Tarte Skin Twinkle palette, and this is the volume 1, which I don't think you can get anymore. But honestly, this is such a beautiful palette. It's still some of my favorite formulas ever. Like, honestly, I think I spoke about this once before where I was sitting at a basketball game on a Jumbotron and I saw my highlight, and that's literally all I could talk about. Like, my friend was sitting next to me and she was like, your highlight's popping. And like, we were on the Jumbotron and I was like, oh, that's funny. Now, obviously this is a little bit older and it's not going to be as pigmented anymore, but it's still very, very beautiful. I love the formula. And my best friend from college, and one of my best friends ever, Sabrina, got this for me a few years ago. So it's just really sentimental to me and I love it. All right, everybody. And that was it for my highlighter collection. I guess I could talk about this. I don't know if you would consider this a highlight. The Cover FX glitter drops. I don't really use it as a highlight, but yeah, that's pretty much it for my highlights. Let me know if you like these kinds of videos. If you want to see me do more of these, I can do my blushes. I've done my bronzers, as I mentioned. I could do foundations. I've done primers. So let me know what you want to see next. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, please. And let me know what your favorite highlight is down below, please. Like, really, please. Because I want to know. Seriously, like, recommend your favorite highlighter down below in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye.